Show. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Purple Rain podcast and one of my first episodes. We are just so ecstatic. We are recording this the night after the big news from the IIHF. So we're recording this after the big news from the IIHF regarding the future of the Women's World Championships. Now, it's funny because we initially today was going to come and do an episode on the Women's World Championships. Yeah, because on Friday we got news that the Women's World Championships 2026 were going to be moved to November of 2026 in Denmark. Largely due to obviously the fact of the 26th is an Olympic year. Yeah, and we were like, okay, well, we'll do an episode of that on Tuesday. Yeah, because that's the best. That was the first opportunity all three of us had together. Yeah. And then literally last night we got the big news, and we're just so excited. So what's really funny though is that both those announcements came while we were watching Big Brother. Oh god. This year's series of BBUK, this is BBUK 2022. This series has been absolute snooze fest, and we're only in week 2. I think we've only got 6-7 weeks in total. We're on week 2, and we think it's an absolute snooze fest. The only reason I'm watching it is because it's Big Brother. That's the only reason I'm watching it. You know, if it wasn't Big Brother, we'd be turning it off. It's just so. None of the house guests are memorable except for one, Richard. Although I think he's a game player. I know, right? I know. So during last night's show, we got the news. Well, I was scrolling through my Twitter because I do live tweet throughout Big Brother. So I scrolled. So while I was doing live tweeting, and it was not long after he did the cursed eye. Yeah. So it was all after the cursed eye. I was doing live tweeting. I was like, Richard, what are you doing? You're now on the block, love. You're now going on the block. You've got to nominate face to face. What are you doing? So I was live tweeting that. I was like, I saw from various journalists that we follow regarding PWHL noticing about World Champions. Like, what? Well, I was looking, googled it, and then was like, I was like, lady! Yeah. And then grabbed Pluto, and then I just spent the rest of the show reading out. Yeah. So this year's series of BBUK has been a snooze fest, and we're only on week 2. Well, Traitors is back tomorrow. Yes! Traitors! We've got our first ever celebrity version of the Traitors UK, and I'm a bit. I'm not really sure I felt about celebrity. I mean, I've never felt good about celebrity doing it on the American version, but yeah. But no. So we've got our first ever celebrity edition starting tomorrow, and we've got a lot of famous faces. Yeah. We've got a lot. Maybe this is where all the money went on Strictly. All the A-listers went to go to the Scottish Castle, so the Z-listers had to go and do Strictly. That's probably why. But there's loads of people you know. Alan Carr, Clever Faith. I'm rooting for her. Claire Balding. There's John Richardson's ex. Yep, Lucy Beaumont. He's playing a bastard in Waterloo Road. I can't believe he survived the finale. I think he might get found out next series. What? So I've got to wait till the end of March. I can't believe he survived. Yeah, he has to play the right bastard this year, so it's Waterloo Road. It's got Tom Daly. Yeah, Tom Daly's also in it. We've got a lot of very famous faces in this Celebrity Traitors. The BBC clearly spent went all out to get big names. Saying, Shane can't be set for Strictly. Yeah, but you have got a favourite now. I've got two. Amber and LeBois. Anyway, it's funny, you know, how these announcements about the Women's World Championships have been coming while we're watching Big Brother. That's how much of a snooze fest this series is. It really is. Oh, God. Right. Could be worse. It could still be on Channel 5. Right, so the big news, let's get to it. The big news is that the Women's World Championships is going to be permanently moving to November, starting with 2026, that is next year. We already have the dates confirmed for next year's tournament. Lady, would you like to read them out? It is the 6th to the 16th of November, 2026, in Denmark. Isn't that... That's when Lady Blonde is. So I'm going to make a decision on that on Friday. Okay. Are we going? I am 60-40. I'm gonna get it sorted on Friday. Okay. I'm gonna get it sorted on Friday. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna sort it out on Friday. Don't worry about that. But yeah, that is true. Yeah, I did check when it was Lady Blonde. Yeah, that's when Lady Blonde is. Yeah, I'm gonna look this up on Friday and make a decision by then. I think we probably will go, but just you can try and look at getting some LeBron tickets for Sochi. Oh, fuck off! Oh, God. Right, yeah. So I'm gonna read it from. Now we already read it last night, but I'm gonna read it again in full. Just in case anybody hasn't had a chance to see it, and I will do my very best to try and... I always say this with episodes on any of my shows. I'll try and put links in the description. I forget to do it, but this time I'll try my best to do that. This is really exciting. So, I'm going to go read the article, and we'll just go on to talk about it. So, the IIHF, the Professional Women's Hockey League, and the global women's hockey community have come together to reimagine the international calendar, aligning around the shared vision to grow the women's game and strengthen opportunity for players at every level. As part of this collaboration, the IIHF Women's World Championships will move to a new November time slot in advance of the PWHL season. The revised tournament calendar ensures there will be no clash with the closing stages of the PWHL campaign. It also enables a full World Championship program in Olympic years, and that's just brilliant. Yeah. So obviously, you, me, and George have only been able to follow the Women's World Championships since the PHL. Well, I didn't even know it existed. Listen, before the PHL, I did not know the World Championships existed for women. Okay? I only had Olympic hockey. So when we found out about we'll join the PHL, I was like, right, okay, I'm good. Right, you're gonna follow that. Yeah. So yeah. So we can't really say what's been like in previous Olympic years, but I'm sure Tessa and Julia can. Yeah, on Docs and Docs. Yeah, go and message them. I'm sure they know what happened in previous Olympic years, but we can only talk about from 2024. Yeah, onward. Yeah. But it has provided destruction to the tail end. Now, the inaugural season was fine because in the inaugural season we had 5 games left each. But this last season it was only 3 games. Yeah, and those 3 games were pretty much crunch time because you could not afford a slip up because you knew it could make or break your chances of getting to the World Cup playoffs. Yeah, as we saw with us, the Charge, and the Fleet. Yeah. Yeah. So it has been disrupted. Yeah, it has been, but we've just gone with it. We've literally just gone with it. You know, we've not really thought too much about it. We've just cracked on. Yeah, we've just cracked on. Just gone with it. Yeah. And of course I had a free week. Right. Yes, because obviously, Plitter, you do not follow the World Championships. You with the international subs of women's games, you're like me with the men's. I do Olympics with the men's. That's kind of what you are. Yeah. Lady does both rivalry series and women's world championships. I do Olympics. Oh, she also does Olympics as well. I do Olympics and world championships on the women's side. Is the rivalry supposed to move to say September, October? I might join Lady. Yeah, because we think that could be a possibility going forward now. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant. And yeah, because Olympic cycles can be very disruptive, particularly if you've got pro leagues. So we could not afford any more disruptions on top of that. I mean, they've already factored the Olympics in. We knew they didn't factor the World Championships in because we didn't know what was going on this time last week. Nope. Well, this time last week we weren't prepared for the schedule to release. It just dropped out of the sky. Yeah. Yeah, I did. You two probably going to get that reference, are you? No. You have to go and ask someone else about that. Cerise, go ask Cerise about that little film reference there. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, but honestly, brilliant work. No. So in addition to that, there's going to be a new European Women's Championship set to start in April 2027, creating more opportunities for elite international competition, ensuring the development of women players throughout the entire season and elevating visibility for women's hockey across Europe. So that won't be the structured draws. I know we have got European players in the league, but I think it'll be more the European leagues that. Yeah, that'll be just probably for players in the European leagues. It will not be what needs to popularise at all. No, at all. No. Right. So here's your first quote to read out. This was a complex situation to solve, and we have reached a landmark moment for women's hockey, said IIHF President Luke Tardif. The Women's World Championships is an opportunity, is an important event for the growth of the game globally. Working together with the PWHL, we've developed a calendar that preserves the integrity of international competition while avoiding significant interruptions to the league season. Sorry, it's really hard to the writing, the text. They've not got the coloration right on the. No, that's fine. You're doing good. Thank you. You're doing good. That's why I might just pick up a little bit there. This solution ensures that the PWHL players have the opportunity to represent their countries at the World Championships, best on best tournaments at World and Olympic level are vital to drive fandom for women's hockey at all levels, and the opportunity for European countries to stage top quality events brings greater visibility and inspiration for the women's hockey community. All parties determined that the success of the Women's World Championships is vital to the growth of women's hockey worldwide. IIHF Deputy Director General Ashley Allott said, "We, the member nations, we the member national associations, and the PWHL went to ensure that we have a successful and visible World Championship. We also want to ensure that we have the very best players at the Women's World Championship. She added. I think I might that much. But I am reading this off the IIHF website, and the colour ratio between the background and the text is all wrong, and I'm just like talking about it. But you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Right. Now we're going to hear from Jada Hefford. So this collaboration marks an important step forward for our sport. Expressed. Jada Hefford, of course, is the executive vice president of hockey operations for the PWHL. Working together with the IIHF and our partners globally, we're doing what's best to grow women's hockey, building a calendar that allows each major event to reach its full potential. The introduction of the European Women's Championship is another meaningful advancement for the international growth of the game. This unified approach is a win for the players, the fans, and the future of women's hockey. Right, it goes on to talk about locations now. So, the 2026 Women's World Championships will take place in Denmark. And Lady Coco will get you the dates early. Do you want to remember again? 6th to 16th of November 2026. Right, they will take place in Denmark. We already know that in 2027, Quebec City will be hosting that year's event. That will now be in November. And from now until 2032, there is a list of projected host nations for the IIHF Women's World Championships, which I'm going to read out in a moment. So I'm going to actually do that now. Just need to make very clear, as I said to YouTube last before I read it out. This is not confirmed, it is just a projection. So things could change between now and that particular year. Okay? But 2026, 2027 are locks. After that, it's all projections. So, Denmark gets 2026, we know that. Canada, specifically Quebec City, gets 2027, we know that. And then from that point on, I'll just find it. Okay, so projected to get 2028 is... Hold on. Oh, but I can't really go now. That's gone. Okay, right, got it. Right, projected to get 2028 is Switzerland. Projected to get 2029 is Sweden. Projected to get 2030 is Canada. Projected to get 2031 is Finland. And projected to get 2032 is Canada. Right. That is the projections. Okay, so that's not definite. They are projected host city. 2026, 2027 are locked in. But for 28 to 2032, they are projections. They could change depending on near the time. Yeah, but if 2029 holds, I think we should go to Sweden. Oh! I'd love to do Sweden. I've always said Sweden's a country I'd love to go and visit. Just because of how well they do Melodifestivalen. Yeah. So you picked up a couple of Swedish over the years and watched Mess Party? Yes, 12 points. Tax America. I think that's about it. And sauna. That's not Swedish! How did they not win? You know how, George. Politics. Oh, of course, yes. Don't start. Don't start. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, so, do we reckon we can maybe do that then one day? Head to Women's World Championship? I don't see why not. I mean, what I think is interesting is how they're now spreading out more to Europe. I think we have to thank Czechia for that. Yeah, because Czechia this year hosted a brilliant tournament. There's even a documentary has been done about it. Yeah, I don't know that's going to be worldwide though. Alright. Yeah, so Czechia showed that you can stage this in Europe and stage it well. Plus for you two, it helps you with time differences. Yeah. Because the time difference between Manchester and Czechia is only about an hour. So it worked well for me, lady. It did mean that we had a lot of snide comments from you. Yeah. But yeah. So that's a lot. So yeah, so we got brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. I do wonder how the US feel about it, because they're not projected to get any games until at least 2033. Well, they have. Yeah, but they're due to host the Olympics in 2034. That is true. Yeah, that is true. So maybe, that is true. So maybe they're thinking, well, let's at least until Salt Lake City's happen, let's not give the US a tournament. Then when after Salt Lake City happens, you can maybe look at that. Yeah. I would give it more Europeans. But yeah, I bet yeah, it has, because what was it in our first year, lady? In 2024, it was in Utica. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, no, we couldn't really stop much. Now we both had to do a lot of checking the results next day. We did. That was yeah. I remember that. Yeah. No, but this is absolutely brilliant. And yeah, maybe we should look into going to a Women's World Championship. Not next year. No, next year's too soon. Plus, I think me and Putter might be going to Legally Blonde next year. Yeah, but that is just amazing. That is just amazing how it's going to be now. It's now going to be a it's like it's now going to be like a pre-season event to the PHL, because this off season's been really long. It's been really painful for us, so we are happy that it's almost done. But I think knowing that at the start of November you'll have the World Championships, I think it might help the off season a bit more, because it won't feel as long as it would be, because as soon as you get to November, we're straight into it. We are straight into the World Championships. And it's going to help so much, because it has been a destruction of these past two seasons, for the PHL season, particularly against that crunch time for playoffs. You do wonder if the World Championships did not impact those past two seasons, would the playoff standings still have been as they were? Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah. I think if we didn't have a break in 2024, I don't think Boston would have got in. You think it would have? I think it would have been all that. I think it would have been all would have snuck in, and we probably would have been either the first or second seed. Yeah. But this past is gone. Nah, I don't think. You don't think if the last season would have made it? No, I don't think if the last season would have made it. You're not going to see it. Probably would have. Yeah. But that's because of how tight things were going into that break, and you're not going to. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think now we have already moaned that we feel that this season coming up is going to go too quickly, because obviously the regular season is going to end in April. Playoffs could easily be done by mid-May. But now we know that the World Championships will begin beginning of November. That is going to mean we won't have as long to wait before we can get some women's hockey back in our lives. It's going to be amazing. And I just need to say this, and I know you two will come as well. I need to give the PHL a round of applause. Because I've been involved with the AHL for nearly 17 years now. I became a Shark in the year 2009. We are getting near. And over the years, have I seen the constant fighting between the IHL and the IIHF, back and forth, particularly in that period when the league said, right, we're not doing Olympics. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they basically tried to make it like how, oh, it's because they're disrupting. Yeah, they're disrupting our season. I'm like, well, is it, Gary? Is it really? No, given how they played till the end of June. Yeah, is it really, Gary? Is it really? I don't think so. Yeah. No. But he did try to blame the IHF for it. Yeah. Like, oh, your tormentors are our season. But it's like, Olympics been going on since ancient Greeks. I know, right? The Greeks gave us the Olympics. I know. Snap off. Yeah. And then we had the whole kerfuffle in 2022. Oh, we're just working on things. We're not sure we are gonna go. We are gonna go. Then we're not gonna go. Yeah. Yeah. So, with the amount of back and forth and squabbling I've seen between the NHL and the IHF has just been completely ridiculous. Like, seriously, you're not schoolboy. It's not Waterloo Road. No. You're not Mr. Rimmer and Mr. Darburn scrapping in the playground because you found out a big secret and Rob is pissed. Yeah, it's not. I don't think we've seen many. Oh no, we have seen. No, sorry. We have seen a couple of scraps of the kids in water, but it is kind of many more the teachers that picked the. Yeah, it's good telly. It's good telly. It is good telly. Yeah, just yeah. But no, but 1%. Yeah, you're not children in the playground having a scrap and see who's got the bigger balls. Or who's not smashed off their face or rat ass. Yeah, you're supposed to be the grown-ups. Yeah. So, the fact that the PWHL and the IIHF firstly recognised there was a problem and then worked to fix the problem, hands off. Yeah, this just shows. Go on, lady, you do it. I would do it, but I think I'll let you do it. This just goes to show. Oh no, can I quote what George said after Big Brother finished? Yes, but let you go first. This just goes to show that women care more about international tournaments than men. Yep. This just goes to show that the women care more about playing international tournament, representing their countries than the men do. Because if the men really care about that, they would have defied the IHL in 2022. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And you know what I hate the most about men's hockey right now is if you haven't got a Stanley Cup here, then you're nothing. Like how with Conor McDavid, because Weepy's got a pretty good chance of getting a medal in Milan Cortina Picada next year. I'm hoping it'll be gold because I'm going to be rooting for Picada in the men's tournament. But he still has yet to get a Stanley Cup to his name. And I just fear that until he gets that cup, no one's going to recognise what a great generational player he is. Because I think he is one of the best players right now of my generation. Yeah. Well, aren't you two similar age? Only by a couple of months. I think I'm a couple of months older than he is. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think he was born. Yeah, because you're born November 1996. And I think he was born January 1997. So you're older than him by about 2 months. Yeah. So I think he's more great racial players in right now. And yeah, I think people go look at, well, unless he's got a Stanley Cup, what's he achieved? So, yeah. You know? But with the women's side, we're not saying that, oh, Hillary Knight and Marie Fleet, for example, are one of the greatest players of their time because they've not got World Cups in their name. No, far from it. No, I mean, Marie Fleet's not earning the nickname Captain Clutch for no reason. And I think there are going to be a lot of great players who probably might never ever get the World Cup, but that doesn't mean they've not achieved other great things beforehand. Because women's hockey was still going strong before the PWHL. It's now got stronger because of the PWHL. Yeah. Plus, we know Harry Knight is retired from the international side after Milan Cortina. you just know they're going to try so hard to get that goal for her.
Oh, yeah.
You just feel it. Yeah, the US are going to try everything they can, but it's not really easy, especially if Canada gets Desbienne in the pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we're going to have Franklin Phillips, they're going to be on top of the game. They're going to be on top of the game. Yeah. Yeah, but I just think it's so irritating how we live in a society where the men feel that unless you have not won the championship, you're nothing. It's championship or bust. Whereas with women, it's like they celebrate literally anything and everything they've achieved. Yeah. And you're right, Eddie, the women care more about the international side than the men do. Because you don't see the AHL scheduling breaks for international on the men's side, whereas for the women's side, you do see that. And, yeah, so that's why I feel the PHL needs to be I mean, I know that this was a joint thing, but the PHL played a huge part in that as well, because if the PHL didn't exist, this still would have been the carried on format. Yeah. And I don't think it works well at all. Yeah. It's not worked in the past 2 years. Me and Lady have been involved. Yeah. Absolutely. So, it's hats off to that. Right, Phil, what's about? Well, after Big Brother, because by the time we finish reading the article, the credits rolled, we're about to go to Later Live with LJ. Yeah. And then you said, if you want something doing, get a woman. Let's just take a pause for the misogynists to cry and heckle and throw their beer cans at me. Back. It's true. If you want something doing, get a woman. Women do things, men just help me out here. No, you're on your own on the mucky train on that department. You're on your own. Men just fantasize. There you go. Men say things, but they don't do them. There we go. No, you're going on your own. It's true. Because let's face it, whenever the PHL said it wants to do something, it's done it. Yeah. When the NHL said it wants to do something, it's like, that sounds like a good idea, but I don't think it's going to happen. And it ends up not happening. Yeah, like some special tournament for next year in the run to the Olympics, but it's not. Does the reason people don't know what that is? No. He don't know. He knows that it's an event happening at the US Arena before Milan Cortina, but he doesn't know what it is. No. But he's not happy. Because he was gearing up for an All-Star weekend. You know, because it had been quite a while since the Islanders had got that. And of course, given how they got to make the first overall draft pick this year, he wanted to use that momentum. But of course, that's not going to happen now. Yeah. Anyway, but it just goes to prove that if you want something doing, get a woman to do it. Because we would not see this with the men's side. No. If this was the men's, we would see scrapping, fighting, and check that one for booze. Check his bottle. Yeah. No, but it's absolutely brilliant news. So, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, and I think, yeah, this now gives players so many options. Yeah. And couldn't we get more players back from Europe? I think we could, because they now know they don't have to worry about having to take a break up during the season to then go and do a championship or another tournament. Yeah, so this could easily help get the international players brought into our leagues, which we're going to need. Yeah. Especially if we're looking at adding 4 more teams in the next year or 2. Yeah. We've already covered that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. So that's brilliant. That's going to be a huge help. Because it now means you can have the option to play the PHL, but you can also go to the World Championships. You can also represent your country in the Olympics. You don't know about that. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Because we, on Friday, when it was announced for 26, we did wonder, can this be permanent or not? Well, we said, no, we actually said that it should be permanent, but we don't know if it's going to be permanent. This might be something we need to get used to once every 4 years. Yeah, because obviously, there should be a way you should still be able to do a full World Championship program while in Olympic year. I mean, if it's possible to do a sports league in Olympic year, then why can't the Worlds not still go as planned? Exactly. And this solution means it now can. Yeah. And I think it now means we're gonna have some even more thrilling player races than we have had the last year. I mean, I know the player races have already been thrilling, but they kind of been like two halves because of the fact of what the World Championship break did. Yeah. But now we've done the World Championship break, you can look at those last 2 months and go, right, this is going to be really critical time of the year to make your power push. Yep. Mm-hmm. I still think we will see some thrilling player races, particularly this coming season going forward. But I get what you mean, player. They might now intensify because there's going to be no World Championship break at the start of April. It's going to be a full on month. You might see clinch scenarios come more early than expected. Yeah, but yeah, and it might be we can now have some more thrilling goal plan races. Yep. This as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it's going to be a huge help. Obviously, we're going to feel it first this season, which is already factored in. But going forward, we're brilliant. Yeah. Now, there is one thing I want to talk about. Go for it. I know it is. More gay. Yes. As you guys know, we were not happy with schedule release day last week because of the fact that the regular season schedule ends 2-3 weeks earlier than past years. It also doesn't give us a nice travel schedule if we want to go out this season. Mm-hmm. And it also means the possibility for the World Cup to be handed in mid-May rather than end of May. Yeah. And so I know you of the 3 of us have been banging this drum the most from day one. Yeah. Oh yeah, because this is 30 games is not enough. It's not enough. But of course we always had to work around the international breaks. Yeah. Now, by moving the World Championships from April to November, that should mean, I said this you did say it last night, you did. Yeah. You did say it last night. That should now mean that next season, regardless if we stay at 8, or if we go to 10, or if we go to 12, there should be no excuses not to increase the number of games next year. The question still is, how many? Yeah. How many? Well, it should mean that more weekend slots could be open. Yeah. Uh-huh. Now, I think we probably still would have to break in December for the European. Oh yeah, because because there is a European tournament, national camps in December. That's bad because that's only a week. Yeah, of course. That's only a week. That's fine. That can still happen because that's only a week. But there should be no excuse now not to try and look where else can you fit like maybe at least 6 or potentially 8 more games. So in that bracket we've been saying to 36 to 40. Yeah. Increase them. And plus, wouldn't we be all in favour of a longer schedule? Yeah, because obviously with the World Championships now moving to November, you can't start the season any earlier. No. You cannot start the season any earlier. No. So you're looking at November to. You're looking at potentially mid-November to mid-May be your regular season. And then end of May, you start playoffs, and then award the World Cup mid-June. Kind of like how it worked for the XL before ESPN took over. Are we really going to blame it on the... Oh yes, we're blaming it on ESPN! When NBC had the rights, it was not this problem. They got awarded in mid-June, early mid-June. Fucking ESPN. Oh, you hate them. You hate them. Do you guys know how many times your Kings are on national this year? I've not checked. No, I don't think we have checked. I have looked at mine, but I've forgotten it already. I think it's about maybe 6 or 7 I've got this year. So I've blocked those out. Yeah, I would be favourable of a lot of a longer PWHL schedule. I mean, we all would. I would have no problem handing out the World Cup in June. You then do entry draft 2 weeks after that, and then you have July, August, September, October off. November, it starts again. And I think that for me would be more doable. Because obviously, we also have the Women's Para Hockey World Championships that would happen this summer. So that'd be fine. That helped break up the off season this year. That's gonna be fine. Yeah, and I think it would. I think for me, he did. So he did November, start mid-November, end regular season mid-May, start playoffs end of May, award the World Cup beginning mid-June, and then you go entry draft 2 weeks after that, and then you have whole July off, whole August off, whole September off, whole October off, babum, November. I would not have a problem with that. I think that would work. That would be so much more manageable. But would the league do it? I don't know. I mean, Plur's right. We have to now look at... We've got no excuses now not to increase the games. Unless there is something stupid in the CBA. But I don't know, because I don't know what the CBA is. No, I don't think Ava's know what the CBA is. That's the only thing I can think of right now is what does it say in the CBA with regards to how many games you can schedule. Well, they need to change it. Because there should be no excuses now, especially if the league is going to have another expansion this time next year. Yeah. What do we think the odds about that are for next year? What do we think? You could easily get 2 new teams in. Yeah. I would prefer if, say, 26-27 you go to 10 teams, and then 27-28 or 28-29 go to 12. I think that would be more manageable. But then again, I don't know what the talent pool looks like right now. I don't know what factors the PH are going to look into when it comes to that next wave. All I know is that report we saw in the run-up to schedule release last week, and it was not pretty. Plus, we also don't know who's going to be at the time of recording this. October 7th, we do not know who is going to be on the takeover tour, or where these non-prime betting games are going to be. We do not know that yet. Look, can you hurry that up? Hurry that information up, please. That would be so useful. Yeah. So, possibilities now are endless. The possibilities now with having the World Championships where they are endless. And do you really think we're going to go one year? I honestly think what was Sweden is projected to get 2029. So that would be my 33rd. Oh, what's beautiful now? What is you're going to celebrate a birthday because of the World Championship? Yeah, but this is going to be your last birthday without not being celebrated during the World Championships. Yeah, still doesn't make me feel good about having a birthday. Can see what you guys mean, but yeah, no, don't start that up. Don't go there. Okay, so should we target the one in Sweden? Our favorite. Well, you have always wanted to go to Sweden. How long have you been harping that? For about 9 years now. It was when Mons and Petra, when Mons used to be a nice lad. Pluto! Well, let's face it. He's having a midlife crisis. I mean, he's having a midlife crisis, our Mons, right now. Okay, I mean, Revolution was not the right song he wanted to do. If he wanted to do a Loreen, let's just put it that way. But yes, it was when Stockholm last hosted the contest. That was 2016. I kind of felt, well, I'd like to stop because by that point I'd been watching that for 2 years. What was my first birthday party? Sarah Nielsen's year. Oh yes, that was 2014. Yeah. So I'd watched 3 Manifest Bars by that point. Yeah. So Manifest Bars is the best selection show for Eurovision. Period. It's absolutely brilliant. It's starting early next year. I know it's starting in January. What? Yeah. Well, the first heat is at the end of January next year. Seriously? Yeah. Why? Because the contest is still scheduled for mid-May. I don't know. But yeah, I heard that from my YouTubers that covers the Eurovision. Yeah, I heard that the other day. I was like, what? Yeah, so we should be nearly getting all the artists very soon. It's normally November that we get the artist revealed, and then we start working out who could be the one that gets the ticket based on just blind luck. Yeah. The file is still mid March, but it's gonna be yeah. So really, when Christmas Day, not gonna long before the best ball kicks in. But anyway, I would like to still do Sweden. So should we maybe schedule that in? Well, I think it might be a good idea for you two to at least do a World Championships, because to get abroad more ideas, I think you three should do it. You two should do it. You're not getting out of it. You're not getting out of it. If we're going, you're going to. Alright, because let's make it probably is going to be a while before the PHL does do international games. Yep. Like, does their own global series. So if you're serious about travelling international for women's hockey, then maybe you should do Switzerland, Finland, Sweden. Ooh. We'll see. Yeah. Well, all the time. I think we should look into it. I think we should look into it. Can't do next year because next year I think Plummy will be going to see League On. It's the Legally Blonde will be coming to the Opera House on the 3rd to the 14th of November next year. We'll be lucky if Amber Davis is in it. I do not know. Whenever we go to see a show at Season Bowl, we always go on the night when she's not in it there. It's the understudy. Yeah. Up with 9 to 5, Papa with Pretty Woman. Yeah, but with Pretty Woman, she was doing Dancing on Ice. Yeah. So, now I was like, I don't care. Everyone's going to see that show. I'm going to take the risk. Yeah. Well, you don't go to the theatre because you want to see a particular performer. You go because you want to see a particular show. That is true. But let's be honest. With 13 going on 30, I think I did just go because it was Lucy Jones. Yeah. I thought it was alright, but I did struggle I struggled with the doing that episode for Showtime. I really struggled with that one. So, so we couldn't do Denmark next year. But we could maybe look at I think Sweden. So that would be 2029. Yeah. Look at doing Sweden and take from there. Yeah. So how are we gonna cover the World Championships for Purple Rain? Because we did a first episode this year, but that was because the US won. What would you like to do going forward? Because there is possibilities now. Because now we know the World Championships is not going to interrupt the PHL schedule. It could mean we could technically do something for Purple Rain. Yeah, we could. Technically could. Yes. So like maybe do an episode just before each new season on the World Championships. Yeah. Or no, you can still do pre-season episode, but because the pre-season episode you drop in. No, I dropped the pre-season show in December. Right. Well, you could in November have a World Championship recap show, and I can come on with you. We can recap that year's World Championships, and then you still do your schedule as normal. Could be down for that. Yeah, could be down for that. I think we'll workshop it between. We've got a year. We've got a year to workshop between now and Denmark. Yeah. So maybe that could be because you're looking at because it probably will always end at mid-November. The championship will always begin at mid-November. That would then give us 2 weeks. Then I think we could. Yeah. Speaking of which, the pre-season show for season 3, I'm just starting the script on that last night. So should be able to start recording that fairly soon, so that can drop in your feeds on December. Yeah. So we could do like a bonus episode about the World Championships each year to start. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I would absolutely would be down for that. And I think maybe we should because we have said if the PWHL was to come to Europe, we would go. Doesn't matter which teams get the odds do it, we would go. Now, it could be certain, it could be a few years before we get to that stage. So maybe this will be the next best option. You've never been to a championship tournament before? Nope. So this could be and given how they're going to be more hosted in Europe, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. Because how else are you going to be able to grow the game if you just stay in the US and Canada where you know that the interest is there? Yeah, because it's all about growing the women's game, and in order to do that, we have to go to these other countries who might not be that well known for women's hockey, but have got programs there, and that can help boost those programs. Yeah. Because imagine what this year's World Championships has done for the Czech program. Imagine. It's probably done a lot of wonders. So that's just brilliant. And I think because Denmark, I don't think it's really that much of a hockey nation, is it? No. Well, I think in terms of the men's side, they only just competed in one tournament. That was the last one. Oh yeah, in Beijing. Yeah. I don't know if they are. Maybe Milan Cortina next year. I don't know. I mean, not on the women's side. So it's gonna be very exciting. So are we gonna target Sweden? I think we have to. If we're gonna do one of these projected ones, I think we have to target Sweden. Yeah. I think we have to do it. And then, could you imagine on the flight down, me literally just constantly listening to Barry's Matty Pest Department tracks from the hits. Soda! Look at me, and chorus! So, one day maybe you will love me, and along, just won OJE second chance contest this weekend. I had so many songs in that contest that I would have loved to see in Barcelona. It didn't go to Barcelona, but that was fun. Well, Emma Rightly, you were rooting for Clara, but you kind of felt in the week of the party you thought it's going to be Kyle Mons, and you got on that Kai train faster than a speeding bullet! You like to look at that big one? I'm not even going to try and score because it's true. You got on that Kai train faster than a speeding bullet! I know, and I was so confident they were going to win in Barcelona! I was so confident. Now you annoyed us. Yep, I annoyed this house. I spent the whole 2 months on the road to Marseille telling this house that I think Kai's going to win. We're going to go back to Stockholm. You're already playing on her as hosting it. Like, we're going to go back to Stockholm. We'll get Petra. She'll tie Katie Boyle's record. You even wanted to bring Mons out and make it do it as proper jury duty. Yep. Now, George, you know I'm wicked. But yeah, that was just priceless. Oh god, yeah. Right, so are we going to target Sweden? Yeah, right. So block out November 2029. Then block that out. So by 33rd, we're going to go to Sweden. We'll block. Yeah. We'll go Sweden. Yeah, that's going to be Brilliant. Yeah, so that's gonna be yeah. So yeah, that should be exciting. It's be nice. I mean, nice to look forward to in the future. That's gonna be yeah. I think we're interested to see which countries over the years they're gonna spread out to. Because obviously Canada will probably get one once every full moon. Yeah, probably once every 2 or 3 years they'll go to Canada. Well, it's 2020, 30, then 32 of the other two that Canada's got. Yeah. So it will not surprise me if once every 2 years you go to Canada. But that's fine if we can get a decent cluster of European countries thrown in the mix. Yeah. I don't have a problem if you go to Canada like once every 2 years. I would not have a problem with that. Yeah. Because there's no stopping Canada and the US from being the big hockey markets right now. Yeah. I would not mind to get one every 2 years as long as you spread it across other European countries, which I don't think is what they did before. No, and that's thanks to Czechia. We must thank the Czechs for that. No. Honestly, it's just so exciting and well done to everyone involved because this was not an easy thing to do. It was not an easy thing to do. It was as it was said on the IIHF article. It was a complex issue that had to be solved, and oh my, did they solve it? And they solved it well. And we now have got something workable and manageable for the foreseeable future. And this is now going to be a pioneer, which is really good because it means that we now don't have to worry every 4 years. Oh my god, what's going to happen? Are we going to World Champions? Are we not? Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. It's going to be in November, and it'll be the road to the so every PWHL season now we're already going to be energized because we would have had, you know, World Championship. We've already had a couple of weeks of already. You know, we've already have maybe a week or two grace period while they do training camps, and then up and running. Yeah. So just get more games in. Oh, the opportunity is there now. The question is, will the PWHL take it? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But just there are now so many opportunities to help grow the game by doing it this way, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Interesting how these announcements are being in time we're watching our reality telly. Do you like Sweet Dream Chasers? Yes. Why? What is it just in case anything else happens? What's there still to come? Well, the neutral site, non-private betting games, and what Seattle and Vancouver's jerseys look like. Oh, of course, yes, right, yes. Well, we'll see what happens, but, I know it's not that funny as a company. Oh, God. Yeah, but no, I don't mind. That's what adverts are for. For you to check up what's going on in the world. If there's any news happens, you can just read it with a nice 4-minute ad breaks. Fine. Yeah, just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So, Sweden 2029. That's gonna be our target. Can we lock that in and not have it on go? Well, should we maybe do this one before? I think if we're gonna do one, I think it's got to be Sweden. It's gotta be. Okay, it's gotta be Sweden. Would we go for the whole period or? Well, do we need to worry about now? Well, we could easily book for the whole time duration and then see how many. Because we don't know how ticketing works. I'm gonna look into that and see how it works going forward. I'm gonna look into that later and see how it will work. Just to stop playing it. We could have easily planned to go for the whole duration of the tournament, and just see how many games we can get in. But if we need to explore. Yeah. So we're gonna go 2029. Right. Put that in the diary now. Put that in the diary now. So that just lock it out. It's something for the near future. Lock that in. I will go for the whole duration. I will get as many as we possibly can. And let's get to Sweden. You're going to go to Sweden! Oh, I wonder if you'll bump into Lorraine. Pluto, I would die! If that happened, I would not know I had myself if I bumped into Lorraine or Petra. No, if you bump into Petra, you will be like, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Empress, we love you. What was it like working with that bitch Marlin? Ow! Don't you like that? I wonder if during the breaks in play they play Murdy Festival music in Sweden games. I'm into to find out. I'm into to find out. Like, Yeah, so I think we are definitely gonna aim for Sweden 2029. That I think is what we're gonna be aiming for. So if that goes well, we could then maybe do something other European tours, or maybe even do Canada on there. Yeah. This is brilliant. Well, we have been saying this is the loo that makes George want to travel. If that means we're going to travel the various World Championships over the next few years, then so be it. Yeah. Because it would be like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Like how going to Olympic Games is supposed to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This could be that moment for us. Because I think it'd be hard for you to get to Olympic. Didn't I once say I would do Milan Cortina and it's rolled around now and we're not going to do it? Yeah, but I think ticketing you have to do like years in advance. So it will be the same for the French Alps or Salt Lake City. Because technically you could go to the next 3 days, but I do remember saying at one point, I think it must have been before COVID happened, I would consider doing Milan Cortina. And that's roll around now. Yeah. So it's going to be really exciting. So are we technically still going to go to Milan Cortina as defending world champions? Yes. Right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. That will still be our title going into next year. Yeah. Yes. But yeah. So Sweden 2029. I'm going to start looking into it now, just so I've got an idea of what I would need to do when we get to say 2028. So after YouTube had LA's Olympics, that probably would be what we would have to start looking into getting this organised. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'd agree. That's fair. Yeah. Because YouTube obviously are very supportive. That's obviously you support the Kings with Bailey. Is he going to be allowed downstairs? Yes, for the whole duration he will be allowed downstairs. And I'll make sure Sharky has Wild Wing. We'll put Sharky Wild Wing over in the corner and you freak two can have Bailey. But I think probably probably September 2028 would be when we'd have to start looking into that. But I'm going to look into it how you do it now, particularly with how you get tickets. I'm going to look at that now, so I'm prepared for that. And if we need to do something, but it's just exciting. Oh, what a grouch it could be for content there, George. Like a blog. Could do. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Looks like just absolutely exciting news. I am so happy for this. We all are. We all are so happy this has happened. It's the right move, not just for the PWHL, but it's the right move for women's hockey as a whole, and it's going to be so exciting. And it's going to create so many opportunities. Yeah. What about European one? Oh yeah, because the European Championship's going to happen. Let's wait until we get more details about that. Okay. And then we'll decide, because I think me and you might keep an eye on that. Yeah. It won't affect us. No. It won't affect the PHL, but I think George and me might keep an eye on that. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll wait until we get more concrete details about that. But for World Championships, brilliant. Yeah. So the next World Championships will remind you what's going. So the next World Championships will be the 6th to 16th of November in 2026. It'll be held in Denmark. And we have projected host nations between 2026 to 2032. So if, like us, you are considering a particular year, I'd probably just start playing it now. But it's just so exciting. I think, because we do feel this upcoming season is going to feel very, very short in the PHL. But I think going into that off season, it's not going to be as unbearable. This time was because we know that as soon as we get to the beginning of November, bam, we're in, go, straight away. We've got women's hockey back, straight away, yeah. But it's absolutely brilliant. It's going to be so exciting just for the women's game.